So much to talk about in this One Piece manga chapter review for chapter 951. We've got Franky's new motorbike. We've got Basil Hawkins' plan. We've got Big Mum versus Kaido. Let's break this down. Yo, Hegassen here, and I don't even know where to begin with this review. There was so much in this chapter. You know, one little chapter, so much information. More questions than answers, but a few answers solved. One answer that we don't really get solved though at the beginning here is what actually happened during the fight in the capital, because yes, it's definitely been skipped, and we see here that the Straw Hats, they're now split up again, which is a little bit unfortunate. They were just almost together. They were only missing Luffy, and now they've all split up again. Well, and Jinbe of course, but when's he ever going to actually rejoin the Straw Hats? Anyway, they've all split off again. And we find out here that Sanji's with Shinobu and they're hanging out near the capital. We have Franky with Nami and Franky's great new motorbike. He's got like a tiger beast and he's put motorbike handles on it, and it's like, instead of like motorbike noises, it's like growl, growl. It's pretty awesome. And there with Kanjuro taking Tonyasu's body to be buried in Kuri. And then we have Usopp with Robin and Brook. And they have Otoko with them as well, and they're heading off down the river. So all of the Straw Hats, they've all split off again, and we don't really get any confirmation as to what happened there. Still no confirmation as to what happened with Sanji and X-Drake. Sanji is looking pretty clean, as was X-Drake last chapter. Just wish we got more confirmation on that fight, but we find out that the Flower Capital is kind of off limits for them now, and a lot of like the populated areas as well in Wano are, because of the fact that there's new wanted posters, and you've got Wano style wanted posters for all of the characters, all of the Straw Hats. We don't see Zoro's though, and we don't see Luffy's, but they look awesome. We also get them for the Heart Pirates as well. Fortunately they don't have Wano names, they're still Penguin and Sachi, but Bepo's there and he's just known as White Bear, and his poster is my favourite one. It looks so different, it kind of looks like Panda Man. It's a little bit creepy, but I love it. I love the style of all these posters. I'm really looking forward to them going on sale actually, so I can have them on my wall back there. But we touched on the Heart Pirates there, and as we're reading through this, we suddenly see Nami talking to Bepo, and I'm reading through it, I'm like, oh okay. Then all of a sudden it clicked. Wait a minute, isn't Bepo meant to be captured in a prison somewhere? And Penguin and such in there, what's going on? And we do get one flashback, and that is a flashback of Hawkins and Law and what happened between them. And as suspected, Law did give himself up. You know, he did that to save his crew. I'm not shocked by that. I'm not angry. I know quite a few people were disappointed that there was no confrontation there. But Law did it to save his crew. And we see here that Hawkins has done like a little bargain. Law puts on the sea stone cuffs and gets captured. And in return, he releases the dolls from his arm for Penguin, Sachi and Bepo. So, you know, it shows here that Hawkins is a pretty honourable guy. Maybe. I mean, how do we know that they are Penguin, Sachi and Bepo's ones? Hawkins could still be doing a double bluff here, but it looks like Law has taken the word and he's let Bepo and all that go. So no confirmations there as to whether or not Law did any body switches or anything, or if anything else went down, or X-Drake joined in. Still don't know any of that, but it looks like that it was just kind of a fair deal. And fair plays as well to Hawkins. Using his head, he confirms here that he'd never be able to beat Law in a straight fight. So he did this as kind of an easy way of capturing Law, and it paid off. So, you know, well done Hawkins, using your brain, the smart supernova. Bepo also gives to Nami their crest seal that Kinemon has been handing out, and it's been altered by Tonyasu, so it's got some new details on it. A little bit dubious here. Don't know if that was actually from Tonyasu or maybe Hawkins gave it to Bepo as part of the deal. We're not sure yet, but it's clear that there's some kind of new plan now being spread around everybody who's been given them cards. But that's not the last thing we get out of the Heart Pirates here. We also see Jinbe and the rest of the Heart Pirates. So finally get to see Jinbe in Wano, and you see him in his kimono. But they state here, or at least Bepo states here, that he values his captain more than the overall plan. So they could potentially now be something that's actually going to go against the attack on Onigashima and do something to upset it. Last chapter we had Kid and we had Killer going their own way and doing their own thing. Looks like Bepo and the Heart Pirates are going to go and do their own thing. So a few little things here that could upset the plan going forward. You know, there's only a few days left till Onigashima, but something big is happening in Onigashima that we'll get to at the end of this review. But first, if you could just leave me a little like and maybe a subscribe. Honestly, helps the channel so much. Gets the channel out there, builds the channel. and it will be so much appreciated by me. Now, before we go to Onigashima, we quickly touch on Ashura Doji and Kinemon again, and Ashura Doji has one more little secret that he wants to share. It wasn't just the graves, he also wants to show Kinemon and Inuarashi this great big port of old ships, like old ships that were owned by the Kazuki clan, that apparently Kaido destroyed, but he didn't do too much of a good job destroying them because, you know, they're in pretty good nick, you know, they're not smashed up to tiny little pieces that you'd expect Kaido to do. And Kinemon states here that we got to get Franky in to fix them up. And looking at what he did to that tiger earlier on, turning it into a motorbike, my mind is just going crazy imagining what he can turn these ships into, like mechanized samurai ships with gun turrets on it and tanks coming out. They're gonna look awesome, so I'm looking forward to that. But I hope that Franky's mission this arc isn't just making ships, you know, I actually want to see him doing some fights and stuff. We've seen him do that in the past. Let's actually see him getting out there doing a fight, like another one we saw with Senior Pink and stuff like that. Love Franky, want to see more Franky in the battle. Now let's talk about the big battle that we got at the end of this chapter. So we go to Onigashima, and we see them preparing some food. They look like giant profiteroles, but I think they're like dango, like kibidongo things, and they're taking it off to someone. Now there's only one person we know that can eat food like that, and that is Big Mum. And in the next panel we see Big Mum there with Jack, Queen and King standing in front of her. She's not fazed at all. In fact, she goes, "Hey King, why don't you join my crew?" And there's some very interesting lore stuff here. The reason why she wants King to join her crew is because she states here that her island is missing 3 races. We know one is giant, so that leaves 2 other races, and apparently King is a member of that race. Straight away you see King, you see the wings, you think it's got to be a sky person, right? Well, not really sure here. First of all, there's a little bit of confusion about the wings themselves, because in the manga they appear black, in the anime opening they appear white, like all of the other sky people that we've seen. So there's a little bit of confusion there as to should they be black, should they be white. If it is white, you would think sky person, but also the wings are quite big. Now, Aruj is also from a sky island, and he has slightly bigger wings than your average sky person, but nowhere near as big as King's. But you also got to look at the other side of this, and I've done a bit of research, and as far as I can tell, there are no sky people in Big Mum's territory. There's one guy who has like pink bat wings, but nothing like what we've seen on Sky Island. So it could very well be that the second race missing are the sky people. But there is a slight problem here with King being a sky person, and that is the fact that Big Mum points out the fact that King's race is a race that was previously thought to have been extinct, and as we've seen with Skypiea, as we've seen with Aruj, sky people, they are actually pretty common. So it can't be a sky person, because otherwise, why would she say that it's a race that's almost extinct? Unless it's like a subgroup of sky people that are, maybe their island was destroyed or something, and they are thought to have been extinct. But yeah, it leaves it open to this third race. What could this third race be? Definitely linked to King. Is it a version of a sky person, or is it something else? I'm still going with that theory. He's covered in fire. Could he be some kind of demon race? Could he be something related to that? That would be really awesome if he could. We see that he's got fire on his normal human form, or whatever his race is form, and then his Tranodon form is also covered in fire, like Fire Rodan. So really good lore stuff here. This was the highlight of the chapter for me. I love this kind of stuff. Until we get to the next page, because in the next page we see a big foot come down, and that big foot is Kaido's, and he goes, "Let her go." One of the people is like, "You're joking, right?" And he's like, "No, let her go." And he like quickly undoes it. Big Mum stands up. She takes her hat off, pulls out Napoleon sword form. Napoleon's like, "Hey, I'm here. I've been awake all this time. I've just been a little bit shy. That's why I weren't speaking." Little bit disappointed by that. That seems like a little bit of a cheap way of going about it. The fact that, oh, he was shy the entire time. That's why I didn't say anything. Didn't say anything to Big Mum at any moment to be like, "Hey, Big Mum, you're acting a bit weird." Okay, I thought maybe he was like knocked out. Not really too happy about that, but kind of a funny little joke. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, because we see Yonko versus Yonko. It is similar to Shanks versus Whitebeard. They go in, Kaido with his club, Big Mum with Napoleon. Clash, Conqueror's Haki, and the sky splits in two. Just like the Whitebeard Shanks moment, and that is where the chapter ends. Really epic way to end the chapter. What could this mean? Are they going to be enemies, or are they going to be allies? When we saw it with Whitebeard and Shanks, it was kind of like a power testing thing. I wouldn't be surprised if next chapter you see them, they've got their arms around each other and they're like, good to see you again, hey, it's been so long. But equally, I wouldn't be surprised if next chapter we go over and Onigashima is completely destroyed. Could go either way, could be testing each other out, they could be actually going in for a full-on brawl. Very interesting stuff. No matter what happens, at the end, I don't think this Onigashima plan is going to work. We've got Big Mum in Onigashima right now. We've got the Heart Pirates going off doing their own solo thing. We've got Kid and Killer going off to do their own solo thing. The Straw Hats can't even move around much because of all of the wanted posters. It's all kicking off in Wano now and it's going to be very, very hyped. That's why this chapter is an easy gold tier plus advanced Widowmaker level tier. Loved this chapter, loved all the lore building, and I'm really, really hyped going forward into the rest of Wano. What is king? Hey, so thanks for watching. What did you think? Let me know about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video, maybe give it a like, and if you really liked it, why not subscribe? You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Twitch. Oh, and here's a related video you might enjoy, and something more fresh. I've been Hegassen, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!